Every morning, the world asks you a silent question. Who are you going to be today? Most people never answer it. They just wake up and repeat yesterday. That's where the difference begins. The quality of your life is not shaped by what happens to you, but by what you say to yourself. The moment your eyes open, your inner voice is either your greatest strength or your quietest enemy. Each morning is a new battlefield, not outside but inside. Before you face the noise of the world, you must first face the noise of your own thoughts, and the words you choose at that moment can either give you power or take it away. The moment you open your eyes, before your body even moves, your mind begins to speak. Thoughts rush in like a flood. The things you didn't finish yesterday, the worries waiting for you today, the small noises of the world pulling you in 100 directions. It happens so quickly that most people don't even notice it. They wake up already reacting. But the truth is, the very first few minutes of your morning are the most powerful ones of the entire day. That is when you decide who is in control, you or your mind. If you don't take charge of your thoughts, they will take charge of you. Your mind has been trained for years by your habits, your fears, and your environment. It remembers every word you believed about yourself. If you once told yourself that you are not good enough, it remembers that. If you once gave in to fear, it recorded that too. And unless you step in with awareness, those memories will begin to run your day on repeat. You will react to life based on old programming. You will feel emotions that have nothing to do with this moment. That is why you must remind yourself with calm conviction, I am in control of my mind is not in control of me. In this sentence is not a statement of pride. It is an act of awakening. It means you stop identifying with the noise inside your head. You realize that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of them. When you feel anxious, there is a difference between saying, I am anxious, and saying, I notice that anxiety is present. The first one traps you. The second one frees you. The moment you start to observe your mind, you step into awareness, and awareness is power. Many people believe that control means suppression, that to control your mind means to push away emotions, to deny fear, to silence sadness. But control is not about suppression, it is about direction. You do not fight your thoughts, you guide them. You train them the same way a monk trains the breath, patiently, gently, but with discipline. If anger appears, you do not shout at it to leave. You simply breathe and remind yourself, Sen, I see you, but you do not lead me. If doubt whispers, you can't do this, you smile softly and respond, watch me. This is the essence of mastery, not resistance, but awareness. Your mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. If you keep planting seeds of worry, the garden will grow thorns. If you nurture seeds of focus and gratitude, the garden will bloom with peace. Each morning is your chance to choose what you will plant. Most people wake up and let the weeds grow wild. They replay problems, scroll through noise, and begin their day already burdened. But you can choose differently. Before you reach for your phone, before you speak to anyone, take a quiet breath and plant your intention. Tell yourself what kind of mind you wish to live with today. That simple act of mindfulness can transform an entire day. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can always control what happens within you. Life will still bring challenges, surprises, and discomfort. But when your inner state is grounded, external chaos loses its power. A storm outside cannot drown a still lake. When you start your day reminding yourself that you are in control of your mind, you carry that stillness into everything you do. Consider how many situations in your life have been shaped not by the situation itself, but by your response to it. The same traffic jam can make one person furious and another person peaceful. The same obstacle can destroy one person's spirit and ignite another's strength. The difference lies not in the circumstance, but in the mind that meets it. That is why training the mind is the greatest discipline of all. Imagine beginning each morning with this clarity. You open your eyes and instead of rushing, you pause. You take a slow breath and watch your thoughts arrive. You do not fight them, you simply notice them, like clouds passing in the sky. You tell yourself quietly, these are only thoughts, not truths. Some thoughts may be useful, others are only noise. You choose which ones to keep, you let the rest go. In that small, simple practice, you reclaim your power. Throughout the day, this awareness will be tested. The world will try to pull your attention outward. Someone may say something that hurts you, a plan may fail, your emotions may rise like a wave. But even then, remember the morning promise. You are in control of your mind. Take one conscious breath. Step back inside yourself. Observe before reacting. Choose your response instead of being dragged by impulse. This is what separates a wandering mind from a disciplined one. The more you practice this, the quieter the noise becomes. You begin to notice moments of stillness, when your mind listens instead of speaks. In that stillness, clarity appears. You see things as they are, not as your fears imagine them. You begin to make decisions with calm precision, not emotional confusion. People will wonder why nothing seems to shake you. It is because your power no longer comes from what happens. It comes from how you think. At night, when the day ends, your mind will try again to replay worries, mistakes, or doubts. But if you've practiced mastery in the morning, it becomes easier to silence the noise. You learn to tell your thoughts, so as you have served your purpose. Now I rest. Slowly the distance between you and your thoughts grows. You stop being controlled by them, and you start guiding them like a steady hand on a compass. Control of the mind is not a destination, it's a daily discipline. It's not about winning against your thoughts, but walking with them without being owned by them. Each morning gives you a new chance to remember this truth. You are the observer, the guide, the gardener. The mind is your tool, powerful, creative, and obedient, if you train it well. When you wake up tomorrow, before anything else, pause for a single moment and speak to yourself softly. And I am in control of my mind is not in control of me. Let those words sink deep, feel their truth settle in your chest. That single sentence, repeated daily with awareness, will change the way you think, the way you act, and ultimately, the way you live. When the first light of morning touches your eyes, something extraordinary happens. Life gives you another chance. A new beginning quietly arrives without demanding anything from you. No matter what you carried from yesterday, today comes unconditionally. It doesn't ask whether you succeeded or failed, whether you were kind or impatient. It simply offers you a fresh page. Yet most people never stop to notice this. They wake up already rushing, already worrying, already lost in the same loop. But when you wake up and whisper to yourself, "Sunny, I'm grateful for another chance," you change the entire tone of your day. Gratitude is not just about being thankful for good things. It is about recognizing that life itself is the good thing. Every breath you take is a silent gift that most people forget to unwrap. The simple act of waking up, feeling the rhythm of your own heartbeat, the warmth of your surroundings, the breath that moves through you, is a miracle disguised as routine. Gratitude is what transforms that routine into a blessing. When you begin your morning with gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present. Your mind becomes lighter. Instead of starting your day chasing after what you lack, you begin with appreciation for what you already have. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances instantly, but it changes a know. And that changes how you experience everything that follows. There will be mornings when life doesn't feel easy, when the body is tired, when responsibilities weigh heavily, when the future feels uncertain. In those moments, gratitude becomes a choice, not a feeling. You might not feel thankful, but you can still decide to see what is worthy of thanks. The bed that held your rest, the air that fills your lungs, the lessons that yesterday taught, even if they were painful. Gratitude is not blind optimism, it is clear awareness. It acknowledges what is, without needing it to be perfect. When you say, I am grateful for another chance, you are reminding yourself that life is not finished with you yet. Whatever mistakes you made yesterday, they belong to the past now. You have been given another sunrise, another opportunity to do better, to forgive, to move forward. Each morning is proof that the universe still believes in your potential. What more powerful reason could there be to begin the day with humility and strength? Gratitude also softens the heart. It takes you out of the narrow tunnel of self-centered thinking. You start noticing small details, the sound of birds, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of water. You begin to live in presence rather than in absence. You start realizing that life's richness often hides in simplicity. The more you notice, the richer you become. Gratitude multiplies what you appreciate because the more you focus on something, the more it grows in your awareness. Many people believe they will be grateful after they achieve something, after they succeed, after they earn more, after life becomes easier. But the truth is reversed. Life becomes easier, and after you become grateful. Gratitude changes the energy you bring to everything you do. When you work with a grateful mind, your actions carry peace. When you face challenges with gratitude, you see possibilities instead of problems. It's not that gratitude removes difficulties. It simply makes you stronger than them. Think of the last time you were frustrated or anxious in the morning. Notice how quickly that mood spread to everything. Conversations, decisions, energy. Now imagine beginning the day with appreciation instead. You'd carry calmness into each situation, patience into each obstacle, kindness into each interaction. That's the quiet strength. Gratitude gives you, it is not loud, but it is powerful. It's the invisible foundation of emotional stability. There is also a spiritual wisdom hidden in gratitude. It teaches you humility, the understanding that you are part of something greater. You didn't create the sunrise. You didn't control the rhythm of your breath through the night. You didn't earn this new day. It was given. Recognizing this fills you with reverence. It makes you aware that life is not something to be conquered, but something to be honored. And when you honor life, life begins to open in unexpected ways. Each morning, take a few moments before you move, sit in silence, feel your breath without rushing. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach for awareness. Let your first words be a gentle whisper to yourself. I am grateful for another chance. Say it slowly, not as a habit, but as a truth. Let it sink into you. Think of the people who matter to you, the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, even from pain. Let your mind rest in that awareness for a few moments. As you rise and step into the day, carry that gratitude with you like an invisible armor. When frustration tries to pull you back into negativity, remember the morning promise. When impatience starts to grow, breathe and return to gratitude. Each time you do, you reclaim control over your emotions. Gratitude becomes a quiet discipline, a shield against chaos, a guide toward peace. In time, this practice will change you. You'll begin to notice that gratitude no longer needs special occasions. You won't need extraordinary moments to feel thankful. The ordinary itself will become extraordinary. The morning light through your window, the smell of tea, the sound of laughter, even silence, all of it will feel sacred. Gratitude turns everyday existence into a meditation. And when you finally close your eyes at night, you'll do so with peace, knowing that you lived this day fully, because you began it with the right thought, the recognition that life has once again given you something priceless, another chance. Every new dawn will remind you that no matter what happened before, as long as you wake up breathing, you are still being trusted with time. The most valuable gift of all, life has a way of testing every human being. Some mornings you wake up feeling strong, ready, clear. On other days it feels like the world is already pressing down before you even rise. Thoughts of uncertainty whisper in your mind. The challenges ahead, the unpredictable outcomes, the fears you try to silence. But when you begin the day with the quiet assurance, I am capable of handling whatever comes, you build an inner foundation that nothing outside can easily shake. This simple sentence is not a declaration of arrogance, it is a reminder of truth. That strength already lives within you, waiting to be remembered. So many people doubt their ability to face life's storms because they confuse comfort with capability. They believe that if they feel discomfort, it means they are weak. But discomfort is not weakness. It's proof of growth. Every muscle only strengthens through resistance, and the mind is no different. The moments that stretch you are the moments that shape you. Each challenge is life's quiet invitation to rise a little higher, to see yourself from a greater height. When you tell yourself, "And I can handle whatever comes," you stop wishing for an easier life and start preparing for a stronger mind. Think about how many things you have already survived. There were times you thought you wouldn't make it, heartbreaks, failures, moments of confusion, loss, or pain, yet somehow you made it through. You might carry scars, but those scars are not signs of weakness, they are symbols of survival. Every experience has carved resilience into your being, even if you didn't notice it happening. The fact that you are here, still breathing, still trying, is proof that you are capable of more than you often believe. This reminder each morning shifts the entire way you see the world. When problems appear, instead of reacting with panic, you meet them with grounded strength. You stop asking, "So why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" A change in question transforms fear into focus. Life no longer feels like an enemy, it becomes a teacher. Every obstacle, every delay, every disappointment carries within it a lesson, and your calm acceptance of that truth gives you peace even in chaos. Handling whatever comes doesn't mean you never feel pain or doubt. It means you acknowledge those feelings without letting them control your direction. Strength is not about having no fear. It's about walking forward despite the fear. Courage is not loud. It doesn't always roar or shout. Often it's the quiet voice that says, "Man, I will try again today." Even when things fall apart, you remind yourself that falling apart is not the end. It's simply another phase of becoming whole again. The human mind is powerful beyond measure, yet most people only access a small part of it because they have never trained it to face discomfort. They want peace without effort, success without struggle, progress without patience. But peace is not the absence of difficulty, it is the mastery of it. The ones who remain calm in storms are not calm because life is easy. They are calm because they have met themselves in chaos before and realized that they can endure. When you begin to truly believe that you can handle whatever comes, life opens up in new ways. You stop fearing uncertainty because uncertainty no longer equals danger. You start embracing change because you understand that every change brings growth. You no longer chase control over everything around you. Instead, you cultivate control over yourself. And that kind of control is the only one that lasts. Start each morning by taking a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, a reminder that strength begins with presence. Say quietly to yourself, "Say I am capable of handling whatever comes." Let those words move through your body. Feel them settle into your heart. Visualize yourself walking through the day ahead. There might be challenges, yes, but imagine meeting them with composure, with awareness, with calm strength. The mind believes what it repeatedly hears. The more you affirm your capability, the more your actions begin to reflect it. There is a story that plays out every day. Two people face the same situation. One crumbles, the other grows. The difference is not the situation, it's the mindset. The one who believes they are fragile becomes fragile. The one who believes they are capable becomes unshakable. This truth is not reserved for extraordinary people. It belongs to anyone willing to train their mind to trust its own strength. When something unexpected happens, notice your first reaction. The mind may rush into panic or frustration. In that exact moment, pause. Remind yourself, "I can handle this." The words might feel small at first, but their power grows with practice. Like a muscle, resilience strengthens every time you use it. The more you remind yourself of your capability, the more naturally it becomes your reality. You start seeing every situation as manageable, every difficulty as temporary, every moment as something you can face with presence. Even in moments of failure, remember that handling life doesn't always mean winning. Sometimes it means accepting loss with dignity, learning from pain, and standing up again with quiet determination. There is power in knowing that you can fall and still rise. There is peace in knowing that no single event can define you. Strength is not about how loudly you fight, but how deeply you trust your ability to keep moving. At the end of the day, life rarely goes according to plan. There will always be challenges, delays, and surprises. But when you build this inner belief, when you wake each morning with the conviction that no matter what comes, you can handle it, you stop living in fear of the unknown. You carry a silent confidence that others can feel. You become steady like a mountain in the wind, not because the wind has stopped, but because your roots have grown deep. And that is what true strength is. Not the absence of difficulty, but the calm knowing that whatever arrives, you have the power to face it, learn from it, and keep walking forward with grace. Perfection is one of the most subtle traps the human mind creates. It whispers quietly that nothing you do is enough, that every effort must be flawless before it is worthy. This voice of perfection can sound noble. It tells you to aim higher, to do better, to reach your potential. But in truth, it often becomes the very reason people never begin. Each morning, when you wake and tell yourself, "See, choose progress over perfection," you free yourself from that invisible prison. You remind your mind that life rewards movement, not hesitation, effort, not endless waiting. The idea of perfection creates fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not measuring up. That fear paralyzes action. You wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, but none of them exist. Life is not a straight line. It's a series of imperfect steps that eventually form something meaningful. The people who grow, who improve, who find peace are not those who waited until they felt ready. They are the ones who started while still uncertain. The act of beginning itself is the bridge between fear and confidence. Progress is about motion, no matter how small. Each morning when you take a single step forward, reading a page, training your body, calming your mind, making one honest effort, you are already winning. It may not feel dramatic, but consistency is what builds power. A drop of water seems insignificant, yet given time it shapes stone. That is the nature of progress, quiet, patient, and unstoppable. Perfection wants to control every outcome. It demands guarantees before you even start, but life doesn't offer guarantees, it offers opportunities. Every failure, every mistake, every setback is a part of learning. If you look closely, the people who seem confident and wise are not those who avoided mistakes. They are those who learned from them. Progress is messy. It requires humility. It requires the courage to try, to stumble, and to try again. When you focus on progress, you shift from outcome to process. You stop obsessing over where you want to be and start appreciating where you are. Each morning, tell yourself, "Senai will do a little better than yesterday." And then maybe you'll speak with more patience, move with more awareness, work with more focus. These small choices accumulate silently until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. Growth is often invisible in the moment, but powerful in reflection. There's also peace in choosing progress over perfection. Perfection creates constant tension because it's never satisfied. You can achieve something great and still feel it's not enough. But when your goal is progress, satisfaction becomes possible. You can rest knowing that you moved forward today, that you honored your effort, that you grew, even slightly. You begin to value the journey itself, not just the destination. Progress is not linear. Some days you'll move forward quickly, Other days, you'll stumble. There will be moments when it feels like you're standing still or even moving backward. But real growth includes setbacks. They're not signs of failure, but reminders that transformation requires patience. When a seed is planted, it must first break before it grows. The same is true for the human spirit. Sometimes life breaks you only to prepare you for deeper strength. When perfection controls you, you live in comparison. You measure your worth against others, and the joy of your journey disappears. But progress is personal. It belongs only to you. Your path is not meant to mirror anyone else's. What matters is not how far others have gone, but that you are walking your own path with intention. The morning reminder, Satchu's progress over perfection, helps you stay centered in that truth in every field: art, work, relationships, even self-discipline. Progress requires practice. You can't meditate once and master peace. You can't train once and master strength. You can't forgive once and master compassion. But each attempt refines you. Every effort, no matter how small, shapes your character. The key is to keep returning, to keep showing up, even when you don't see instant results. That persistence builds a power far greater than any short-lived perfection. There is a quiet confidence that grows from honoring progress. It comes from knowing that each morning you are a little wiser, a little calmer, a little stronger. This confidence doesn't need to shout. It's not about proving anything to others. It's about trusting the process within yourself. You no longer rush to arrive. You learn to be patient with becoming. Imagine your life as a long journey through mountains. If you focus only on the highest peak, you'll miss the beauty of the path, the sunlight through the trees, the sound of wind, the feeling of each step. Progress means appreciating that every step, even the slow ones, even the painful ones, are part of the climb. You don't need to reach the summit today. You only need to keep walking. Each morning, repeat to yourself that perfection is not your goal. Effort is, movement is, learning is. Tell yourself that mistakes are not signs of weakness, but proof that you are alive and evolving. When you fall, rise with gentleness. When you fail, reflect with honesty. When you succeed, be humble enough to keep improving. Progress means honoring all of it, the highs and the lows, the effort and the outcome. At the end of the day, the person who grows slowly and steadily will always surpass the one who waits endlessly for perfection. The sunrise does not appear in a flash. It unfolds gradually, moment by moment, until the light fills the world. That is how true growth works. Quietly, consistently, beautifully. So each morning, when you open your eyes, remind yourself of this truth. It's not about being perfect. It's about becoming better, little by little, day by day. The past has a strange power over the mind. It lingers like an echo, soft but persistent. Every mistake, every regret, every memory that carries pain tries to pull you backward. You might wake up ready to start fresh, but then the mind whispers to remember what you did, remember how that felt, and before the day has even begun, you're trapped in yesterday. That is why each morning you must remind yourself with calm certainty, and I am not my past. The mind loves to live in memory. It replays moments over and over, analyzing what could have been, what should have been, what never was, but no amount of reflection can rewrite what's already written. The past cannot be changed, but it can be understood. The purpose of the past is not to punish you, it is to teach you. Each mistake, each heartbreak, each failure carries a lesson, and when the lesson is learned, the experience has served its purpose. Carry the wisdom, not the weight. Many people keep their past alive by retelling the same painful story to themselves. They wear their wounds as identity, thinking that by doing so, they stay safe from repeating them. But when you identify with the wound instead of the lesson, you remain trapped in the same emotional loop. To be free, you must let go of the story and embrace the truth that you are more than anything you've been through. The past is a chapter, not the whole book. When you wake up in the morning, life is offering you a clean page. The pen is in your hand. What you write today is what shapes who you become. Yet most people keep rereading the old pages so they never begin a new one. Telling yourself, "They're not my past," is an act of liberation. It means you are willing to stop defining yourself by the person you were and start living as the person you are becoming. There's a quiet strength in forgiving yourself. Forgiveness does not erase what happened. It releases you from its grip. You cannot walk forward while looking backward. You cannot build a new life with the same thoughts that built your pain. To move forward, you must let go, not of memory, but of identification. You can acknowledge what happened without allowing it to define who you are. Everyone has done things they wish they hadn't. Everyone has said words they regret, made choices that brought pain, trusted people who disappointed them. But to keep reliving those moments is like carrying stones in your heart. Each morning, when you choose to forgive yourself, you put one stone down. Eventually, the burden becomes lighter, and you begin to walk freely again. Your past is not an enemy, it's a teacher dressed in the disguise of memory. The lessons it holds are precious, but only if you extract them and move forward. If you resist, it becomes a prison. Growth begins when you stop running from your past and start seeing it with compassion. Ask yourself each morning, what did that experience teach me about who I truly am? And when you answer honestly, you discover that even the darkest parts of your history contributed to your strength. The beauty of life is that renewal is always possible. Every sunrise reminds you that nothing lasts forever. Not pain, not failure, not regret. The same sun that sets on your worst days rises again to offer you new beginnings. You are not meant to repeat what broke you. You are meant to evolve from it. But that evolution only happens when you allow yourself to stop clinging to who you were and start embracing who you can become. Sometimes, people around you will still see the old version of you. They will remember your mistakes and remind you of them. They may hold you to a story that no longer fits. Don't let that shake you. Their memory of you is not your responsibility. Growth is often invisible to those who refuse to see it. Keep your focus inward. Your job is not to convince others that you've changed. Your job is to live in alignment with that change. In time, your actions will speak louder than your past ever could. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting it. It means changing your relationship with it. Instead of saying, "Then that happened to me," begin to say, "Then that happened for me." For that shift transforms pain into wisdom. Every difficulty taught you something about endurance. Every disappointment revealed something about your values. Every failure taught you something about strength. Without those experiences, you wouldn't carry the awareness you have today. You can honor your past without being owned by it. You can remember without reliving. The human mind is capable of transformation at any moment. The person you were yesterday exists only in memory. Every breath you take renews you, cell by cell, thought by thought. Nature itself reflects this truth. The trees shed their leaves not in sadness, but in preparation for new growth. In the same way, when you release old pain, you make space for new life within you. Each morning, remind yourself gently that you are not bound by yesterday. Speak to yourself as someone who has learned, not someone who is lost. Say it with quiet strength. I am not my past. I am the lesson it gave me. Let that thought sink into your mind like sunlight through fog. Feel the relief that comes with it. No matter how heavy your past has been, today is lighter, because today is yours to shape. The truth is, transformation doesn't happen in a single grand moment. It happens in small decisions repeated daily. Every time you choose not to return to an old habit, you grow. Every time you respond with patience, instead of anger, you evolve. Every time you believe in your worth despite yesterday's doubt, you rise. And as those choices accumulate, you slowly become a new version of yourself, one who walks forward without dragging yesterday behind. When you wake up tomorrow, pause before the day begins. Take a breath, feel the newness in the air, and whisper within yourself, saying, "I am not my past." And let that be your first act of freedom. Because as long as you keep your eyes fixed on what's ahead, the weight of what's behind you can no longer hold you back. Every morning, before the day begins to rush in with its noise, responsibilities and distractions, there is a sacred moment, a moment of silence between sleep and awakening. That is the moment to remind yourself, "Sin, I am grateful for this day." Gratitude is not just a polite gesture or a fleeting emotion. It is a state of awareness that changes the way you see, feel, and experience life. When you begin your morning with gratitude, you shift the vibration of your entire being from lack to abundance, from worry to peace, from resistance to acceptance. Gratitude is a choice. It doesn't depend on whether everything is perfect. It's the ability to look at life and say, even if I don't have everything I want, I am thankful for everything I have. The truth is, no one's life is without challenges. Everyone carries some burden, some pain, some uncertainty. But when you start your day counting what's missing, you begin in weakness. When you start your day counting what's present, you begin in strength. Gratitude focuses the mind on what's working instead of what's broken. It reminds you that even in difficulty, there is something good, a lesson, an opportunity, or a moment of beauty waiting to be noticed. Think of how often people wake up and immediately dive into stress, checking their phones, comparing, complaining, or rushing. They let the outside world decide how they feel before they've even taken their first conscious breath. But gratitude pauses that rush. It says, wait, before I face the world, I will remember what is already good. When you do that, your mind aligns with peace. You are no longer reacting to life, you are responding with intention. Every breath you take is a reminder of life's generosity. Your heart beats on its own. The sun rises without being asked. Nature gives without condition. Yet the mind forgets this simple truth and keeps chasing what's missing. Gratitude brings you back to balance. It teaches you that you already have more than you realize. The moment you open your eyes, there's air to breathe, a chance to begin again, and infinite potential in front of you. Isn't that already something to be thankful for? Gratitude also changes how you interpret challenges. When you see every obstacle as a teacher rather than an enemy, life becomes lighter. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this trying to show me? That single shift in thinking turns suffering into strength. A grateful mind sees even pain as a seed of transformation. It doesn't mean you ignore hardship. It means you rise above it by refusing to let it define your mood, your purpose, or your day. Start with small acknowledgements. Be grateful for the morning air touching your face, for the comfort of your bed, for a new chance to make better choices. Gratitude grows stronger through attention. The more you notice, the more you receive. When you wake up and say, thank you, you send a signal to your mind that life is not a burden, it's a gift. And when life feels like a gift, everything you do carries a different energy. Calmer, more confident, and more compassionate. There's a silent power in a grateful person. They walk differently. They speak with gentleness. They attract peace because they see life through the eyes of appreciation. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means trusting that even the imperfections have purpose. It means understanding that the storm teaches resilience, that loss deepens love, that endings make space for beginnings. You might think gratitude is just a feeling that comes and goes. But in truth, it is a daily practice, one you can strengthen like a muscle. The more consistently you practice it, the more your mind learns to focus on what uplifts rather than what weighs you down. Try this before you even get out of bed. Name 3 things you are grateful for. They can be simple: your breath, your family, the chance to start again. This small act aligns your heart with peace before the world tries to pull you into chaos, and something extraordinary happens when you live from gratitude. Life begins to give you more to be grateful for. Your focus shapes your reality. If you constantly see problems, you will find more problems. But if you consistently see blessings, you will find them everywhere. The outer world reflects your inner state. Gratitude transforms your inner world, and that transformation echoes into everything you touch. Think of gratitude as sunlight for the soul. Without it, the heart grows cold and restless. With it, the heart blossoms. It becomes open, generous, and kind. Gratitude softens your judgments, humbles your pride, and connects you with others. It reminds you that no matter where you are in life, you are always surrounded by more good than bad, more love than fear, more hope than despair. If only you choose to see it. Each morning, when you open your eyes, you are being given a silent invitation to begin again, to breathe again, to try again. Not everyone receives that invitation. Some people's stories ended yesterday, but you're still here. That alone is reason enough to whisper, thank you. You don't need a perfect day to be grateful. Gratitude itself makes the day perfect. The mind that starts with gratitude becomes resilient. It doesn't depend on circumstances to feel peace. It knows that peace begins within. And when gratitude fills your morning thoughts, it becomes much harder for negativity to take root later in the day. Gratitude builds an invisible shield. It protects your focus, it protects your energy, and it keeps your heart open no matter what comes your way. So as the light of the new day touches your face, remember this truth. The most powerful way to start your morning is not by asking for more, but by appreciating what already is. Because when you start with gratitude, you don't chase happiness, you create it. And in that creation, every moment of your day becomes a reflection of peace, purpose, and quiet strength. Every morning, before the noise of the world enters your mind, remind yourself of this truth. Everything I need is already within me. Simple sentence carries deep power. It reminds you that strength, peace, and clarity are not things to be found outside, but qualities to be uncovered within. Most people spend their lives searching for validation, purpose, and happiness in the outer world, in possessions, achievements, or other people's opinions. Yet all along, what they truly seek is already inside them, waiting to be remembered. The moment you wake up, your mind begins to reach outward. It looks for something to compare, something to chase, something to fix. But when you start your morning with the awareness that everything you need already exists within you, you begin from a place of wholeness, not lack. You stop asking, what do I need from life today? And instead ask, what can I bring to life today? That change in direction transforms everything. You become the source of your own energy instead of depending on external circumstances to determine your mood or motivation. Inside every person lies a quiet power, a well of calm strength that remains untouched by chaos, but it is buried under layers of noise, fear, and self-doubt. To access it, you must first learn to be still. Stillness is not emptiness, it is awareness. When you sit in silence each morning, even for a few moments, you begin to hear your own truth. Beneath the constant chatter of the mind, there is a space that knows what you are capable of. It whispers, Pong, you can handle this. Want, you are enough. Sin, you are whole. The problem is not that people are weak, it's that they forget their strength. They give their power away to fear, to distraction, to the opinions of others. But your worth does not depend on how others see you. It depends on how deeply you connect with who you are. When you stop chasing approval and start trusting yourself, life begins to move differently. You walk with a quiet confidence that doesn't need to be announced. Imagine a tree standing tall in the wind. Its stability doesn't come from what's above the ground, but from the roots hidden below. In the same way, your stability doesn't come from what you show the world, your achievements, your appearance, or your status. It comes from the inner roots of awareness, self-belief, and presence. Each morning, when you remind yourself that everything you need is within, you strengthen those roots. You become grounded in yourself. No matter how strong the wind blows, you do not fall. There will always be moments when life tests your faith in yourself. You may face rejection, failure, or uncertainty. The mind will begin to whisper, you're not ready. You're not strong enough. You're not good enough. In those moments, pause and return to this truth. Everything I need is already within me. You have already faced storms before, and you are still here. You have already overcome what once felt impossible. Strength is not something you find in books, in others, or in external achievements. It is something you awaken through experience.